Boy, that game had a little bit of everything, didn't it, Reuben?
Yeah, and even before the game, had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, pretty wild night. But the Eagles get the win, 24-20 over the Dallas Cowboys. This is the Eagle Eye Podcast, brought to you by Nissan. Reuben Frank and Dave Zangaro. Where do we begin after a game like that, a night like that?
It's funny you just said the score is 24-20. It was also 24-20, like middle of the third quarter. I would have bet anything that wouldn't be the final score.
Yeah, we all could have gone home at the lightning delay.
That's right. I think it was really hard for both teams to come back from that. But yeah, it was a strange night. I mean, the two teams combined to score in their first 8 drives, and they didn't score in their last 8 drives. Had weather delay, had an ejection before the first offensive snap, a serious-looking injury before the first offensive snap. It was, and you know, we talked about this. You get strange things on opening day, and you are just happy to get out of there with a win.
Yeah,
doesn't have
and
to
that's
be
the thing. You know, if they play this game in week 6, then it's a real cause for concern.
Yeah.
Honestly, the way I look at a game like this is like, obviously, yes, there are a lot of things I need to clean up. Maybe some decisions I have to make about personnel. We'll get to that in a little bit. But, you know, the name of the game in week 1 is try to figure out a way to win, survive, and move on to week 2.
Yeah, and they did that. And they fought a lot of odds. I mean, you lose maybe your best player. Maybe Zach Bond's their best defensive player, but you lose one of your best players, and you could just see the Cowboys, like, it gave them life. It gave them some energy. We listened to Dak Prescott talk after the game about the whole thing, and he said, you know, we based our whole offense on blocking this guy, and all of a sudden he's not there, and it enabled them to do some things. I thought it took a little while for the Eagles defense to figure out how to play without him. But once they did, and I give Vic and that staff so much credit, because I think the first 2 drives were touchdowns, the next 2 were field goals, and then it was like turnover, punt, and downs.
Yeah,
I think
it was.
So they shut them out after the first 4 drives when they had 20 points. So it's kind of like they figured it out on the run. And that's really impressive. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, and that's something that's kind of a Vic Fangio hallmark.
Yeah.
Is his defenses get better as the game goes on, and he figures some stuff out. I think there's a little bit of that. I think obviously that the only turnover in the game went their way, which is, you know, sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah.
But there was effort before. We'll get into all that. Let's start off with Jalen Carter's ejection. What a strange way to start a football game. The Eagles win the coin toss. Some people probably weren't even in their seats yet. Maybe they were, because they wanted to see the banner unveiling. Maybe that was.
I'm sure some people were.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it was so quick. So the opening kickoff, the Eagles win the toss. They defer. Opening kickoff, Van Sumeren gets hurt, and it looked like a really significant injury. We don't have any update on that, but it took a long time. He's on the ground. He throws his helmet. They're waiting for the cart to come out, and in that time, had not happened, Jalen Carter plays that game.
Right.
So in that long layoff, and everyone's seen it by this point, but in the press box, it was like we heard the announcement that he had been disqualified, and I thought they misspoke. And I thought it was like they're supposed to say, you know, he one more and he'll be disqualified. I thought he just said something. He did not. He spit on Dak Prescott.
Yeah, and like everything else, I mean, there's like, so Dak was in the back of the huddle, like he was nowhere near where Jalen Carter was, and then he kind of came up, and he's standing behind two offensive linemen, and he was like baiting Jalen Carter.
Yeah, he spit in his direction.
He spit in his direction, but not at him.
Well,
like Jalen Carter literally
he spit on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was kind of gross. It like got in between his jersey, like in his chest.
And I've seen so many replays. I'm like, just don't need to see any more replays
gross.
of that. But what Dak did was, I thought, really bad, but it didn't raise to the level of what Jalen did.
Yeah. And Jalen, you know, you can't react like that.
Can't.
You just it can't happen. And to his credit, he spoke after the game. He didn't have to. You know, I thought he was going to duck owning up to it, and he didn't. He sat there and he said, you know, it's something that it won't happen again. I already told my teammates, I promised them it won't happen again. But yeah, I mean, this is a different defense without Jalen Carter in the middle.
Yeah, and kudos to the guys who's played. I mean, Byron Young probably wasn't expecting to play 22 snaps.
Morrow and Jordan Davis played 50 snaps each, 89%.
Yeah, second most of Jordan Davis's career. At Buffalo overtime game, he played like
And
62.
that was the one that gassed him out.
Yeah, it did. Now you got a long week, which I'm sure they could use, but
He was probably the only person happy about that lightning delay.
that's fair. But yeah, and I would have liked. You know what I didn't like? I didn't like Jalen Carter walking off the field smirking. You might have just cost your 10. They won the game, but like, I don't know. And he didn't seem as accountable as I would have liked to have seen him post game. I'm glad he spoke. He kind of said the right things, but it won't happen again. I'd like to see him go deeper than that. Like I've got to be smarter. I've got to be more disciplined. I can't let my team down like that. I won't happen again. I mean, it shouldn't have happened once. It's never. I mean, be a little. I don't know. Be a little more accountable. But I'm glad he did speak.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're splitting hairs a little bit with that, but yeah, obviously, if it happens again, like, and it costs yourself some money, maybe that I can't. He needs to be on the football field.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a mechanism for the league to suspend him for a game. I don't know if he's going to have a hearing with the league. Sometimes that happens.
He'll at least get a FedEx in the mail.
Yeah, he's going to get fined. I think Dak should get fined too.
Like instigating?
Yeah.
I doubt he will.
I doubt he will too. He's Dak, and Jalen Carter's a third year, young kid.
But now, like, Jalen Carter's in that territory where there's a reputation that goes along with him, and he has to be aware of that.
I think he's had that before. I mean, he had that.
Yeah, but now certainly, like, national TV, first game of the year, you get kicked out before the first actual play of the game. Like, everyone saw it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Nick didn't really say much about it. I would like to hear Nick. He said we don't talk about discipline. You can say you're disappointed in the guy. He started talking about all the penalties that they had, and he just didn't address Jalen at all. I'd like to see him say something about it.
He eventually did say, like, we need him on the field.
Did he say that? So that was after
we. Yeah, he did say that.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, you just can't do that. He's got to be smarter, and he's not a rookie, and I would love to know what was going on in his head when he did that.
Yeah, but in general, Nick was right. Like there were a lot of penalties in this game, and
Nolan Smith. That was that taunting.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big penalty. That took him from the 50 to the 35.
And I had some people say that's a weak call. I agree with you. It is a weak call, but he still walked toward a player, said something toward that player, and this is a game where, like, the rest had showed you that they were going to try to take control of it at some point. Yeah, it's a fine line to play the way you want to play with an edge, but not get penalties. They ended up with 9 penalties for 110 yards in this game.
Yeah, the last one was an intentional delay game on that fourth down. But yeah, it's too many
5-yard penalty.
Yeah,
but there was a lot of this.
But it was 93 in the first half, so they cleaned it up a little bit. I think it was 93 and 17 in the second half, something like that. But I don't know what I was going to say, but the Nolan Smith penalty. I think when the refs know that it's a chippy game and stuff's happening, and there was a lot of pushing and a lot of stuff going on and stuff after the whistle, they're gonna make that call every time.
Yeah, I think so. And it's not like I saw a lot of people like, yeah, the Cowboys got away with a lot. Like, maybe I think they probably did at times, but yeah, it's
the first out of bounds on Jalen. I mean, he's, the second one was still in bounds, but first one was when he kind of ran over the guy, the radio dude holding the.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a penalty.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, because it's not like he tackled him out of bounds.
He barely touched him.
He pushed him.
Okay.
And then Jalen hit a guy. He could have gotten hurt. So, yeah.
I thought it was a very light, hand on his hip.
Maybe I'll have to take another look. I thought the Reed Blankenship personal foul
that one was tough. Like I as a defensive,
he could have done.
He's trying to prevent a pass. Like that's I don't know if you change anything in the coaching point on that. He made a play.
Yeah, nothing he could have done. And then, then they ended up getting a turnover there. But it was an interesting play to me, and I'm gonna I'll get to it when we get to it. I don't want to go out of sequence.
Okay, you
But
want to talk about the offense a
yeah,
little bit? How about that offense? I mean, they came out and they were really efficient. Touchdowns on the first three drives, a field goal on the fourth, and then punt, 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 and then finally on that last drive, they did what they needed to do to get out of there with a win. And that was we'll get to that play or that play and that sequence. But early on, the offense looked really good, and like Jalen, I thought played a great game.
yeah, I did too. And his numbers weren't gaudy, but I thought he ran at the right time. Boy, he looked fast. He looked elusive. He
Like quick step, like
Yeah,
juking. Yeah.
yeah. On that one, I think it was a 16-yard run in the middle of the field. He had like 3 Barry Sanders moves on that one run. And then when he kind of, aimed for the left corner of the end zone, that was a beautiful run. And then the one that clinched it, that let him run out the clock. Um, I said before the play, we were on the set ready for post game, and I said everybody in the building knows he's keeping it,
Yeah.
and they still couldn't
QB
stop
draw
him.
all the way. They spread him out.
Yeah,
Yeah, he ended up stat line in this game 19 for 23, 152 yards.
19 for 23, by the way, 4 incomplete passes. One was a Saquon drop.
Mhm.
Were there any other drops? I don't remember the other 3 incompletes.
No, there were some that weren't like real passes. There was one where he rolled to the left, threw it out of bounds.
Right, right. But yeah, I thought he was. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Passer rating of 94.2. His rushing numbers 14 attempts, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns, and neither of those touchdowns the tush push variety.
The one was 8 yards. That was a really nice run. 14 carries, 3 were kneel downs.
Mhm.
So it was really 11 for 65. So those kill your average. But I used to drive Randall crazy. He's like, Rue, can you do something about making those kneel downs not count as rushing
Yeah,
yards?
put the backup in.
Yeah, I'd rather have Jalen in there with the ball in his hands than Sam Howell. Thank you. But yeah, I thought he ran really with a real sense of purpose and seeing the field really well and seeing where defenders were. He looked fast and elusive. I thought that was some of his biggest plays were with his legs.
Yeah, moving the sticks, like good decisions of
Yeah.
when to take off. I thought he
Yes.
was very decisive with that today.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of a weird day offensively.
Yeah.
Their leading receiver was Jahan Dotson, who had 3 for 59. 51 of them came on that beautiful deep ball from Jalen Hurts.
Really?
Dotson's longest catch as an Eagle, second longest of his career.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful throw. Like to see, I think it was the only time they went down the field at
Mhm.
all. I'd like to see a little more aggressiveness, and I think that'll come.
Yeah, I thought after the first half, they did turtle a little bit
Yeah,
as an offense.
I thought
I
so
thought they
too.
got a little too conservative.
Yeah, I thought so too. Now, I think a game like that, when you feel like your defense has really kind of found itself, you don't want to take undue risks. But
Yeah, but honestly, at the point where they started the turtle, I don't know if they should have had that much confidence in the defense at that point yet.
well, the one that really bothered me, I don't know if this is one you're talking about. I'm just going to try to look it up real quick in my game book. I think it was the first play after the delay. So it was the first play
Mhm.
after they got the ball back.
Saquon run, loss of a yard or something.
Yeah, and in that situation, so you got the Cowboys are coming out. I mean, they're both teams had an hour off, but I think that favors the offense. I would have gone deep on that first snap.
Yeah. Oh, there were some other moments too, like a second and short,
Yeah,
and you're running the ball. Like that's a perfect moment to take a shot play.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought there were just some moments where
Second and short.
they were a little too conservative. I thought Nick's one punt. I didn't love that decision. It was like a 4th and 3,
I thought it was 4th and 5.
4th and 5.
I'll have to check that. It was interesting. I thought Saquon got hurt by the delay, maybe more than he was 11 for 62 before the delay and 6 for 0 after.
Hmm.
I don't think they blocked real well for him. A lot of his big runs were just kind of him.
Man, how many spectacular like 4 or 5 yard gains did he have in this
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, he had one that easily could have been a 5-yard loss, and he turned it into a 4-yard run
The
gain.
one in the backfield where he cut back left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And how about that catch? And then the stiff arm.
yeah,
He's. I mean, the stat line is
no,
like a whatever stat line for him, but
yeah,
he had a really nice game. I thought.
I thought so too.
Dallas Goedert, 7 catches on 7 targets, 44 yards, long of 9, but he was getting little chunks that were helping them out early in this game.
Yeah, his catches to targets is one of the highest ever by a tight end.
Mhm.
He just catches it, and yeah, I thought early on, like he was really big on some of those early touchdown drives. Not a lot of yards, but I mean, the plays were they didn't have a lot of plays. They didn't run. How many drives did they have? They didn't have a lot of drives. What, they have like 8 drives?
Yeah, 8
They
drives.
had 8 drives. So kind of everything's magnified. Like one big play to Dotson, it's magnified. Everything is when you don't have that many plays. Um, but I thought it was an encouraging start for Patullo, but there's a lot of room for growth.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. With some interesting wrinkles on offense. No Ben Van Sumeren in this game. Obviously, he got hurt on that opening kickoff. Started using Kylan Granson as like a lead blocker at times in the
Yeah,
backfield.
and that's not his.
Yeah, a little weird. He had 1 catch for 1 yard today.
Yeah, that's not his.
Devontae just 3 for 16.
Yeah,
And there were moments like AJ obviously had that target late in the game, and it was a nice catch. And that really was Jalen called it the biggest play of the game. It wasn't, but I understand why he would say that because it's no AJ.
gave him a 2nd and 3,
Yeah, it gave them a manageable
or gave him
a 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like I understand
and
why
he stayed in bounds. That was big.
yeah, it was a great play. But yeah, for him to get his first target at the 151 mark in of the 4th quarter, he had never had a game without a target before. You
I know.
probably looked this up.
I didn't. They flashed it on the screen.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
Okay.
they had a lot of time to kill from
Oh yeah.
yeah 10:30 to
90
11:30.
career games entering today, had never had a game without a target. He got pretty darn close.
He did.
And there were actually some moments where I don't know if the TV copy shows this, but Jalen was looking that way, like started to draw back, and it just wasn't there. He didn't feel comfortable with the throw. Uh, but man, like AJ had Elam on him sometimes. I'm thinking, give him a shot.
Yeah, I'm with you, and
It gets back to the idea of Jalen, like how risk averse do they want to be
yeah,
this year?
and that's what struck me tonight is that Jalen just like he wasn't going to take undue risks.
In a game like this, maybe it's the right call.
I mean, the Cowboys he's thrown a bunch of picks against them. That had to be on his mind. Um, so it was conservative. Maybe it was intentional, but yeah, I think there were times they needed to be more aggressive.
Mhm.
And AJ's a guy that we've seen jump balls to him. He's I mean, if you have, depending who you have on him, I mean, if there's a pedestrian corner, just chuck it up there. He'll catch it.
Yeah. And, to Jalen's point, good on him for being ready in that moment when the ball finally did
Sure.
come his way, because it's very easy for any receiver to just kind of get taken out of a game and not be ready for that. So, and we know AJ, like, he wants the football, and that's not a bad thing. He should want the football. So to see him make a play late in the game like that, it's a good sign.
Yeah, he's going to get his catches. He's going to get his yards. It goes into the category of weird things happen on opening day.
Yeah. I thought Will Shipley did some nice things before leaving with
What
a
do we know?
ribs injury.
What do we know about the injury?
Ribs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
So
all
he
we
could
know.
miss a game.
He was listed as questionable, but did not return. Did not return actually onto the field after the
Oh, really?
the lightning delay. Ended up with 3 rushing attempts, 26 yards. Did he have a catch?
He had a 20-yard catch.
They got called back.
No, that counted.
It's not in my. They called it a run. Yeah, it counted as a run. Okay. Yeah, I listed that as a catch, but it went down as a run. So we ended up with 3 for 26. So that 20-yard play was nice.
It was. He's got a little juice to him.
He does. Did muff one of the kicks. You want to see him clean that up.
Yeah, and gave him some bad field position. What a weird game.
It was a weird game. Yeah.
How much has ever been a game where the two teams combined to score on their first 8 drives and then didn't score again on 8 drives?
We didn't find out that Jahan Dotson was the punt returner until pretty darn late in that game.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, neither team punted until what, the middle of the third quarter?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was.
You have anything else on offense?
Um,
Landon Dickerson left the game,
yeah,
that back injury. I didn't think he was playing very well,
yeah,
and that's just me watching live. I thought he looked hampered by the injury.
I thought so too. I thought the whole O line was kind of. I thought Dallas took it to him a little bit with their front.
Here and there were some nice pockets of times that Saquon Barkley touchdown run was like an enormous hole. So I
It
thought they
was.
did some good things.
Yeah, I just thought it wasn't up to their usual standard.
Probably fair. Yeah. But I thought it was like a passable performance.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, let's take a break. I want to talk defense when we come back.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, we've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself and shop your local Nissan store and nissanusa.com today.
We are back on the Eagle Eye Podcast, brought to you by Nissan. Reuben, Frank, Dave, Zangaro. Eagles defense. Here's how their drive chart went today: touchdown, touchdown, field goal, fumble, punt, turnover on downs. They got stronger as this thing went on.
Yeah, like you said earlier, that's a hallmark of a Vic Fangio defense. They find it, they figure it out. And that's not an easy thing to do when you lose a Jalen Carter. You know, you've got your whole game plan, you got everything figured out, and he's a big, big part of it. And all of a sudden you don't have him. And let's play Byron Young. You know, it's
Who almost made the play of the day.
yeah. Yeah.
It was funny. Nick was talking about some of the interceptions they dropped, and he goes, Byron, I probably can't expect him to make that play.
It would have been yeah. I mean, Q should have had the one.
Obviously.
Reed Blankenship, the ball's coming at a weird angle, but you kind of expect him
The
to make
Quignon one,
Yeah.
he needs to make that.
Although Reed could have made that one, the one that bounced off CD.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were like 4 of them.
Mm-hmm. It felt like Dak was like itching to throw an interception in this game.
Seemed that way, didn't it?
And the Eagles just didn't take advantage.
I got to throw one. But yeah. I thought the coverage improved as the game went on.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about what they did defensively. So they came out with Andrew Makuba as their safety in the nickel package. They had Sidney Brown as a safety in their base package. So that's the way they divvied that up. And then with the cornerbacks, it was Adoree Jackson, but it was Cooper DeJean outside in the base package. He slid in for nickel packages, and Adoree would take over. But for the beginning of this game, they actually had Quinyon Mitchell shadowing George Pickens and not CeeDee Lamb. And I understand the idea behind that because CeeDee splits his time between outside and in the slot. So you figure, well, half of his snaps are still going to be up against one of our best corners. The problem is that his other snaps were against Adoree Jackson.
Yeah, it was a tough matchup for Adoree. Very tough.
Do we want to be positive or negative about this defense? Because I like the negative part is Adoree Jackson really struggled. Yeah, what that one big pass breakup, and that was a nice play. You give him credit for that one. It nearly led to that Byron Young interception.
That just sounds funny.
It does sound funny. But aside from that, it was a rough game. PFF numbers on Adoree Jackson's game: 7 targets, 5 receptions, 103 yards. Against CeeDee Lamb, 5 targets, 3 catches for 72. And a drop.
Yeah. I think
that's the other thing is like, they were a CeeDee Lamb catch or drop, however you want to look at it, away from losing this football game.
Well, I mean, the last one, they would have had the ball. Where did he drop? Like on 30?
Yeah, potentially.
Potentially, yeah. And that's why I thought AJ had a better game than CeeDee. Because he had 8 yards compared to 110 or whatever it was, but AJ didn't have any drops. CeeDee had 3. But I thought the coverage got better as the game went on. Ja'Cory Bennett came in for a bit when Adoree was getting checked for a concussion.
Yeah, so we were wondering at the time, wait, did Adoree get benched? Because that would have been plausible the way he was playing. But the reason I didn't think it was the case was because he had the pass breakup right before he left the game. So, like, why would you bench him after his only good play?
Right.
Yeah. So you got tested for the concussion. Jacorian Bennett came in and got a penalty on. They attacked him on the very first snap.
Yeah, it wasn't a penalty.
Okay, but he did get a penalty
Yeah,
on the very first snap. But I think I'd like to see Jacorian Bennett.
I would
I
too.
just can't, and if it's worse, it's worse. But I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, until Adoree came back in, I thought Vic had made that change.
Well, it was weird because Adoree got checked, and then he was just standing on the sideline with his helmet on. So you're thinking maybe he did get benched.
Yeah,
Not the case.
yeah, he wasn't very good. Um, I think he's got to start Bennett a week from Sunday. I don't think he will.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because Vic did talk about a long leash for whoever ended up being the starting cornerback, and that's now Adoree Jackson. But you owe it to the team if you think the other guy's a better option to go with him.
Yeah,
And I have a hard time thinking Jacorian Bennett's not just the better option.
yeah. I thought even in the few snaps he had when he was in there, I mean, I thought he did some good things. But
Yeah, he had the one. It was like a 5-yard catch to Ferguson on the right sideline. He let him catch it, but it was a quick tackle, got him to the ground.
yeah,
Adoree on that the Miles Sanders run was not pretty. You don't expect him to just make that play, but he just got washed.
yeah, yeah. And even on the penalty, the Jacorian was, I mean, he was right there. He it was kind of like the play made in that preseason game, getting around the guy, knocking the ball down.
Mhm.
Contact was minimal, but I think he's gonna if he plays, I think he's gonna give you something that Adoree Jackson did not give you today.
I
And
think
it's
so.
look, it's a tough ask. He's out there on CeeDee Lamb, but yeah, he just wasn't very good.
Yeah, and maybe because of that, they'll give him a little bit longer rope
I
here.
would think so.
But if it looks like this in week 2, you can't keep doing it.
Right.
You got to get him out of there because and this was kind of the fear going in this game is that you have Quinyon Mitchell, you have Cooper Jean. Where are they going to throw the football? That's exactly what happened.
Yep. And I mean, we talked about it all summer. They wanted Keely Ringo to win that job.
Yeah.
And when he didn't, it's almost like they had to start Adoree by default. So
Yeah, we've talked about that. They did not want Adoree Jackson to win that job. You wouldn't think.
Yeah.
29-year-old guy, year 9, got benched playing for the Giants last year. Not ideal.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Bennett pretty soon.
I think so.
Can we talk some good stuff on defense?
Yeah.
These linebackers.
How good is, I mean, well, yeah, all of them. But I mean, let's talk about that play Zach Bond made on when he tried to knock the ball out and he kind of gave up another 15 yards.
Yeah.
I like that play.
So in hindsight, he said, I should have just gone with one punch and then tackled. And he said he should have punched with his left hand. I love that he's that analytical about it after a game, right?
Yeah.
Like they just come off the field and he's already thinking about, this is what I should have done. But man, that might have saved the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Chase down our old buddy Miles Sanders on that one.
It's good to say hi to Miles before the game.
It was nice to see
Saw
him
him on the field.
Good guy.
He is a good guy. But that was like Miles' career in a nutshell, like a big long run and a fumble.
Can't get in the end zone, then fumbles a little bit.
Yeah.
But that drive in particular, which to me was the biggest drive of this game, because the Eagles had not stopped the Cowboys yet. They had gotten points on all of their drives up until that point. And the linebacker play of that drive was unbelievable. You had the Jahad Campbell coverage down the field like 30 yards.
28 yards down the field on that tight end with all the weird names.
No business for a linebacker to be that far down the field and make a play like that.
Reuben Span Ford. That was an incredible play.
And then you had a similar play by Zach Bond on Ferguson in the middle of the field, something he was really proud of. I don't know if you guys played any of him on postgame, but he said that was something he's really worked at, improving in those situations. And he said he thought he did a really good job, like reading Ferguson's eyes, playing through the hands and playing through contact to make sure he broke that play up. That was a huge play. Bond had the game-saving tackle, Miles Sanders, and then Jahad Campbell's in on the tackle that forced the fumble.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like a year's worth of plays by linebackers in a lot of seasons for this team.
Right? Like that, to me, that was one of the biggest stories of this game, was that linebacker play in general, but on the most important drive of the game where they finally get a stop, it was the linebackers that came through.
Yeah. Yeah, and we knew they were gonna be fun to watch, and they lived up to it. I mean, Jahad Campbell, I mean, I watched that play like 10 times, that down the field, like
For a second, I was like, which defensive back is 30
I was like, "Did I see was it 33? What did I see what did I see
and he's
wrong here?"
all the way down the field?
He was 30 yards down the field. It was like
That's one of those where, the quarterback goes back to the sideline and they're looking at the pictures on the tablet and he goes, "What? How?"
Yeah,
I asked Nick Sirianni about like linebackers who can carry their covers that deep down the field. Eventually, he started talking about Braden Mann somehow after that answer, but he brought up Shaq Leonard and not the version of Shaq Leonard we saw, but early in Shaq Leonard's career when he was one of the best linebackers in football. I guess it was Darius Leonard
yeah,
at that point, but yeah,
Leonard,
it's high praise. Like to,
Leonard.
I get it. Uh, yeah, but those linebackers are so much fun to watch.
Yeah, no doubt.
Anyone else on defense you want to highlight?
Oh,
I thought Jordan Davis had some good pressure
I
in this
thought
game. You'd like to
he
see him
knocked that ball
finish.
down.
He had a pass tip. Yeah, you like to see him finish at Dak at that one he got in the
They
backfield.
were so close to so many sacks.
Mhm.
No
Didn't get
one
him once.
didn't get them, no interceptions. They were close on 4 picks.
I thought Jalix had a pressure or two.
Yeah, um,
Josh Uche had a heck of a rush. See that inside move from a
I didn't
Josh
see
Uche
that.
early in the game? Yeah. Ended up without a stat on defense, but there was one play early in the game, kind of spiked back inside and got a good pressure.
I have to give Byron Young a lot of credit for I think it was 22 snaps he played.
Mhm.
Probably didn't think he was gonna play at all. He really hasn't played much in his career. I think he played 6 games for the Raiders.
Yeah,
Um,
they drafted him.
yeah, um, and yeah, he was in on that. I'm still not sure exactly who knocked the ball out.
I think it was Byron Young.
Do you? I
Uh,
thought it was Jihad, but
no, they credited Jihad. Even Jihad said he didn't know. The replay looked like Byron Young got in there. Nick Sirianni credited Young.
it does. I mean, it
Either way, it might have been a little bit of both.
yeah,
That
and
happens sometimes.
that's team defense, and it was a
Yeah,
really timely
because even
play.
if Byron Young gets his hand in there and punches the football, the hit from Jihad probably jostles it free anyway.
Yeah, yeah, no doubts. But like when you lose a Jalen Carter, like I mean, a bunch of guys are going to be playing more snaps than they were planning on or expecting. Are they in shape? Is Byron Young? He had a nice summer. What kind of shape? I think Gabe Hall was
Played a little bit.
he played 5
Mhm.
snaps maybe.
We even saw some Patrick Johnson in there.
I saw Patrick Johnson in there. Yeah.
What did you think about what they did with the edge rusher rotation?
When we were talking about the inactives over here,
Mhm.
um, and I said, I wouldn't be shocked if Ojulari's down, and you didn't hear me, but Mulls heard me. Our producer Mike Mulhern.
It was something on my mind,
Yeah,
but I thought it would be either him or Okoronkwo. I didn't think they'd have them both down
same.
because I didn't know if they viewed Patrick Johnson as someone who could take defensive snaps. He didn't play a lot on defense, but
Yeah.
he was at least out there.
Well, you know what he kind of telegraphed it. I was just BSing with him at his locker the other day. When was the last day we were in a locker room? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
And he was talking like he was gonna play. And I said something like, you're gonna play? He's like, well, I'm gonna play soon.
Mhm.
um, but he had it in his mind that he was gonna be out there, and he was. I think it was only a few snaps, but
Yeah, it wasn't much. But this is something they did in the playoffs last year. They shortened the edge rusher rotation. Now, I don't know if you can do that for a full season, really going with a 3-man
yeah,
rotation. That's really them telling you what they think about those guys.
yeah, and I'm not sure you need to keep them all.
Well,
If
if you're going to
that's
have Okoronkwo and Ojulari down each week, yeah.
yeah. I wonder if they'll sign a fullback. Is Blasting Game gonna get a tryout?
It's an interesting
Our old
question.
friend?
We'll never really get to know what their plan was with Ben Van Sumeren. You wish him well. It didn't look good.
Yeah.
Feel for him because he got hurt midway through last year and the season was over. So worked really hard to rehab, and then literally the first play of the new season, he got hurt again.
Yeah, you could if you read lips, you could tell how upset he was when it
Yeah.
happened. Good dude. And hope for the best.
What'd you make of the safety rotation, having Sydney in base and Makuba and nickel. It makes sense on its face. Like Sydney running downhill, probably better in those like hard nose. You need a tackle situations, whereas Makuba, you feel better in space.
Yeah, I think it does make sense. Did Sydney get banged up? I saw him.
I think he just knocked the wind out of himself.
Okay.
That was the Jihad Campbell down the field play because he
Right.
hit the goofy name tight end at the tail end of that play.
Brevin St. Jacques.
Mhm.
Brevin
Yeah.
Spanford.
He hit him pretty hard, but I think he just knocked the wind out of himself.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I thought Makuba gave a couple things, but I thought he was in the right place most of the time.
Mhm. I don't think I have anything else on defense. You?
No.
Okay. We'll take one more break. We'll talk special teams and any loose ends we have to clean up when we
Gotta
come back.
tie your loose ends up, tie them up.
Eagles fans, be a part of the Birds takeover in Kansas City with NBC Sports Philadelphia and Philly Sports Trips. Includes optional airfare, hotel, an exclusive pep rally, all-inclusive tailgate, ticket to the game, and more. Book your Eagles ultimate fan experience today. Better get on that one because that game is right around the corner. Back on the Eagle Eye Podcast, Reuben, Frank, Dave, Zangaro. Special teams. Pretty good game from them.
Great, man. 2 big punts at the end,
Mhm.
down to the 11 and the 18, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, great summary. Those were huge, huge instances, especially considering Dallas's return game with Turpin. To pin him back inside the 20, the defense is starting to come around. They had bad field position. You're clinging to that lead, and last thing you want is for Dallas to have good field position. So that was huge.
Yeah,
And then
the kick units did a good job. Turpin just had 4 kick returns for 81 yards.
Yeah.
Jake did a good job angling that one, kind of bounced to him at like the 5-yard line.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jake made a 58-yarder.
With plenty of leg.
Yeah.
That thing would have been good from 65.
That's the record by Aubrey, right? I think that's the NFL record.
I would have gone through from that deep.
Yeah.
Very humid. We learned that this summer that humidity helps the ball travel.
Yeah. Yeah. I made that mistake of assuming it didn't, but he was 1 for 7, I believe, last year from 50 and out, and the one was a 50.
Mm-hmm.
It was his longest field goal since 23. He's now got 5 career 58-yarders, which is the 3rd most in history.
It's good to see him.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to need him at some point.
And it was fair to wonder if, maybe.
Well, he came through when they needed him. So
he did. Yeah. But it was bad regular season for him. So that was a big kick. I mean, that was clutch.
We learned Jahan Dotson is their punt returner. He fair caught 2 of them. Curious to see if that continues.
Look good doing it.
Yeah, during warmups, it was Dotson and Cooper DeJean back there. Maybe there's some situation, tight game, you need a return, you put Cooper back there, but it'll be very few and far between.
Wonder if we'll see Covey.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the first fair catch was like okay. The second one made me a little nervous.
Yeah, I didn't sense that, but
okay.
Yeah. He's never done it before in the NFL.
Not in the NFL, yeah. Which makes sense when you think about it. He was a first-round pick in Washington. And he's not really that anymore.
Well,
here.
He's still a first-round pick. It's just
you know what
Washington.
I mean.
Yeah, he's a 3rd receiver.
Yeah.
So different role.
Mechie is the backup kick returner after Shipley. So it was Mechie and A.J. Dillon out there toward the end of the game.
Yes.
Got any odds and ends here?
I think we covered it all, Dave. I think we've just exhausted this game. Just in a big picture sense, Nick is 5-0 in openers now.
Yeah.
And it's not an accident. And he's talked about this, about how much he puts into preparing for the opener. And I think it's really smart because, an opener can really set the tone for your season. It can send you spiraling. Dallas played really well for big chunks of this game, and they're going home 0-1. And, if they won this game, put a little pride in their stride and, they're feeling good about themselves. So I think Nick has done really well at getting the work in during the summer that you need, but also getting into the starting line healthy and sharp and
as sharp as he can be. There's still a preseason element
Absolutely.
to these early games, and it's about surviving
Yeah.
for a little while, but they did that.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the last 4 of those openers have all been by 5 or fewer points. They're all close games, close to the vest, play here, play there, and they found ways to win them.
and it is important because we talk about this schedule. You can't lose the games that you're supposed to win.
Right.
The margin for error is a little thinner this year, and you have some tough games coming up. The Chiefs next week, then the Rams, then the Bucks. So you couldn't afford to lose a game like this, and then all of a sudden you might be down in the hole.
Yeah, absolutely. So 5-0 is big. I think there's only 3 teams that could be 5-0 after Sunday. I think it's Dolphins, the Saints, and someone else. But yeah.
The ceremony before the game, they unveiled the banner, 2 banners actually. One banner where you expected it, and then they have a new one like facing the city or like toward the city side of the stadium with 2 Lombardis out there. They pulled out these like giant Lombardi trophies. They'd be like 30 feet high. Where do you think they keep those?
That's a great question. There's a lot of closet space in the link.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ever like explore like the lower, like inner, like
only when we used to do the Q&A at the public practice, and we'd like come through the tunnel part that I never normally see.
Yeah, that tunnel, they store a lot of stuff back
That's
there.
probably where they are.
So it's like between like when you the main lobby and then you go down the ramp and you go left.
Yeah.
Like past the photo room and there's like that long corridor of storage. I'm guessing that's where they are. I'm going to find out.
Okay. That was a cool ceremony. Brandon Graham, Jeff Lurie walked out holding a Lombardi each, and they dropped the sheet over the banner, and it was a fun time. Now the specialists were on the field warming up, so Nick Sirianni wouldn't be happy. His specialists did probably see the banner,
and they both had great nights.
They did, and Charlie Hewlett too. Don't leave out the long snapper.
Charlie had it.
He long snapped his little heart out today.
He sure did.
Nice flight by Lincoln, the Eagle. Went back for a little bit extra.
Oh yeah.
After Lincoln landed, yeah. Boys to Men did the national anthem.
How did they do?
Nice rendition from Boys to Men.
Okay. It's funny. I saw them do a national anthem at an Eagles game when they were like boys. Now I've seen them do.
You've seen them go from boys to men?
Yeah, I guess so. They walked in front of us when we were getting ready for our TV hits, and I had no idea who they were. But everyone else seemed.
You know how I knew?
I do not.
I just watched them sing the national anthem to warm up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gave it away a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah. Good to see Brandon Graham. Saw Jason Kelsey today.
Saw BG. Who do I see pregame? Not a lot of people.
It was a little bit of a who's who.
And I like Miles. I don't think he can play anymore. Well, he had a nice long run, but it was his longest run since that 82-yarder against the Saints.
Wow.
As an Eagle during the COVID year, 2020.
It was fun talking to Lane after this game. Even when you cover a player this long, it's like he's talking about his favorite Dallas moments, and he's like, there was that Sam Bradford one, that Jordan Matthews, and I'm the only one around who remembers what the heck he's talking about. He's like, you remember that one? I was like, that was pretty cool. The overtime one? Yeah.
Yeah. The game winner in overtime.
Game winner, Jordan throws the ball into the stands. Wasn't much to talk about in that season.
Cried. What an odd favorite player to have. Like, I like Jordan. He's a good guy, and he was pretty good those first few years, but yeah, a little over the top.
Do we have anything else here? We are a little delirious. It is 2:30 a.m.
What are you going to do? We got a long weekend here. No football Sunday.
Yeah, got a lot of writing to do. Maybe get down the shore a little bit if I can. Yeah. You got any plans?
Well, get away somewhere.
Okay.
Go to Greece for the weekend.
You better get on that flight soon.
I think there's one leaving soon.
We were talking, like, do you think I'll see daylight if I write long enough tonight?
What time is it?
It's 2:30.
Go to the dentist.
On that note, if you enjoy the Eagle Eye podcast, please rate and subscribe wherever you get your pods. If you're watching on YouTube, click the like button and subscribe there as well. Real quick, Eagle Eye NBCUni.com if you want to send us a question. The QR code's on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. But that's all the time we have for today, unless you have any final words, Reuben.
I do not.
Okay. For Reuben Frank, I'm Dave Zangaro. This has been Eagle Eye, presented by Nissan, The Birds are 1-0, and that's all that matters. We'll talk to you soon.